motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I
My bad, y'all. And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? Listen, it's almost that time, man. It's almost the Christmas holiday upon us. We'll get to spend time with our family. We'll get to parlay, eat good. And unfortunately, we'll be watching the Dallas Cowboys play meaningless football, right? The Dallas Cowboys, as we know, are eliminated. No hopes of making the postseason. Everything else is about evaluation and getting out of the season healthy as humanly possible, man. And we just gotta be 1,000% honest, man. We have to figure out a way to get Matt Eberflus out this bitch. I don't give a damn about who we draft. I don't give a damn about free agency. I don't give a damn about none of that bullshit. If that motherfucker's still here, we ain't gonna win a goddamn thing. This defense is too bad. A lot of it is his fault. I know that it's, there's other factors in the shit. Niggas been hurt. Jerry made the Michael Parsons trade before the season. Yada, yada, fuck that. He is horrible. This defense is horrible. And we're going to have to clean house in order to fix the defensive side of the ball, man. Because there's no way in hell that we should be allowing quarterbacks we shouldn't be allowing quarterbacks to have their best days in the offense against us every single fucking week. Every single timeout, every single snap, the motherfuckers going crazy. That shit just ain't, it's not possible to overcome, man. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. Jerry Jones said some things that are interesting to me. We got some metrics from the game. We're just going to come in here as a family. We're going to discuss what the fuck we need to do moving forward in order to get this thing cleaned up, man. But on the way into the liquor store, y'all know the usual rules and regulations when you tap in with your independent content creators, man. First and foremost, when we go live, please hit that like button. The more likes that we get on the platform, the more that YouTube gonna fuck with us. They're gonna put us further to the algorithm. So if you got love for Henny, you want to see the platform grow, you want to see us continue to do great things in the space, please, please, please hit that like button. After you hit the like button, make sure you turn right back around and hit the share if you care. I know everybody mama say sharing is caring. But also, when you send the link, when you send the link, It's basically like an invitation, an open invitation for them to come in and rock with us, man. My boy Lord Crimson said, I tried to warn y'all, about Flus. Dude is terrible. It's a terrible coach, zero accountability. Hey, man, you ain't lied. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I looked up some of his, defensive tenures, and they didn't have overall bad numbers. I knew he didn't blitz. I think I still might have him up here somewhere. The blitz percentages when he was with the Colts, they were always at the bottom of the league. But yeah, he's awful. He's awful. He got to fucking go, man. And he's been one of the biggest detriments to this team the entirety of the year. Also, salute to my brother Bobby King, man, for the cash out. He said, fuck Eberflus, unreal, he's still in Dallas. Salute to Bobby King, man. Bobby King always be showing up and showing out, man, and showing support. And if y'all want to be like Bobby King and help your boy out, man, y'all can hit that cash out. It's $ Henny the Mo. I think it's right there at the bottom of the screen if you can't see it. What's up with your Ken Clout? But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it, man. Let's go ahead and talk about this shit as a family, because this shit is crazy. It said, this randomly came across my feed, but as a Bears fan, I feel bad because Buddy, not it, but the talent not really there for the system he runs either. Which is true, which is very true. And if we had a dominant defensive line where we could rush for and just drop people back into coverage and the ball got to come out quick and we can get deflections and, play a true vision defense, it might be better, possibly. But, and this is the thing I always say about Matt Eberflus, because, I'm going to compare him to somebody else that came over here. When Dan Quinn came to the Dallas Cowboys, he also was a vision-based defense kind of guy. He liked to play cover 3. The Legion of Boom was a cover 3 defense. They did a little bit of cover 3 match, but mostly, just cover 3, spot drops, right? And when he got over here to Dallas, he realized very quickly that the Dallas Cowboys did not have the personnel, to run his defense at a high level. So what he ended up doing, he looked around, he saw that he had Trayvon Diggs, he saw he had Anthony Brown, he saw that he had all these man-to-man corners. So the Dallas Cowboys ended up being the team during his tenure that played cover 1, at the highest clip of any team in the National Football League. So he completely adapted his scheme and his principles to suit the talent the Dallas Cowboys had. That's not necessarily what he wanted to do, but it was what he had to do in order to go out there and coordinate a good defense. And he turned that defense around. The Dallas Cowboys in 2020 was one of the worst defenses in the National Football League. Now, he did get a godsend by the Dallas Cowboys drafting Micah and then finding out that Micah Parsons could rush the passer at an elite level, right? That was one thing that helped Dan Quinn in his scheme. But, that's one of the reasons why I've been looking, at Flus a little sideways. He knew coming in, I ain't going to say coming in, he knew after the Micah Parsons trade that he would not be able to rush forward with the personnel that we had. It just was not going to happen. You did not have an elite pass rusher left on this team. I know Dante Fowler was coming off of a 10.5 sack season, and I got a lot of respect for Dante Fowler. But sometimes Father Time creeps up on you. He's not the first pass rusher to go from double-digit sacks to barely having an impact on a game, within a season time. That shit happens all the time. He might just be a little bit too long in the tooth to contribute the level that you dog. Donovan Izaraku, I think he'll be better, in the future, but he's a rookie. You didn't get Jadeveon Clowney in the middle of the season, and he's no longer a spring chicken, and he didn't have a training camp or anything to get acclimated. So, when you look around, in terms of the pass rushers on the Dallas Cowboys football team, it should have been obvious that them dudes were not going to win, just rushing forward. Because remember, if you only send a 4-man rush, the offensive line already has a numerical advantage. They got 5-man protection, sometimes 6. You only rushing 4. You're always at a numerical disadvantage when that happens, and you really are going to have a dominant pass rusher or 2 if that's the way that you want to try and run your defense. Yep, he said Flus runs an outdated system. If your line isn't getting constant pressure with 4, that cover 2 gonna get cooked relentlessly. It's true. He also doesn't do a good job of disguising what he's in. This is not a team that disguises, what they're in at a high rate. So see the Dallas Cowboys, and I promise you we'll start talking about some of the stuff that Jerry and them said. But just to y'all point of Eberflus scheme being outdated and ain't no good. You see that Dallas Cowboys star down there? This is a graphic that indicates how often defenses blitz and also how often they disguise the coverage pre-snap to post-snap. So when you see the Dallas Cowboys over in that bottom left quadrant, those are teams that do not blitz at a high percentage, and those are also teams that do not disguise the defense that they're in at a high percentage. So he does not blitz, and he does not disguise. Meaning, he's utilizing 4-man rushes, and the cover shells behind it are elementary and easy to read for the opposing quarterbacks. And to y'all point, you see the Houston Texans are down there. The Houston Texans, have an unbelievable wealth of talent. The Houston Texans got 2 double-digit sack pass rushers. They got good defensive tackle play. They got all-pro cornerback. They got another very good cornerback in Kamari Lassiter. They got good safety play. They got good linebacker play. So they can go out there and line it up and say, fuck it. And no, Ken Clout, he was asking about the Trayvon Diggs play where people think he gave up a touchdown. I thought at first look it was on Trayvon Diggs, but what actually happened is they showed single high safety pre-snap, and then they rotated the safeties over top post-snap. So Trayvon Diggs was not lying. They rotated into a cover 2 look. Trayvon Diggs had flat responsibility, and the safety on that side of the field had the deep half. The issue was they flooded that side of the field with vertical threats. So there was entirely too many guys going vertical, for that safety to account for. What you would like that safety to do, and I know that they came out in a disguise, so he didn't have time to really get into position, but what you would want that safety to do is to get in the middle of those 2 wide receivers releasing vertically on his side, so that when the ball is in the air, you can try and break on it in either direction. But because they ran like an in-breaking post route to the safety, it held him way too far into the middle of the field, and there was absolutely nobody over top when that ball came out. So, and listen, this is the thing about zone defense. Like, Diggs was not even supposed to run with that nigga. Diggs got complete flat responsibilities. Anybody come underneath in that flat area right there, about 10 yards out, that's who he's supposed to take. But Diggs had recognition and tried to run with the guy after he saw the safety was not going to get over there. But no, that was not a play that you should attribute to Trayvon Diggs. That was a play that you attribute to Matt Eberflus for being stupid enough to, the call that right there. It was really just a great play concept against cover 2. And believe me, I was finna get on Trayvon Diggs' ass. You know what I'm saying? I was finna jump down that nigga throat. Y'all know me. I don't give a fuck who you are. You out there fucking up. No, he ain't gonna say something. But it really wasn't that nigga that time. Like the play that, that you can really attribute to Trey, it was like a 3rd down. They ran across her. He was in man coverage. He got out of position and then tried to undercut the ball, and he just couldn't do it. Like, you can put that on Trey for sure. You can damn sure put that on Trey. But that touchdown was not on Trey. That came in zone coverage, cover 2. So that really was on the safety. Really had that responsibility over top. But damn good question, Ken. Damn good question. Well, let's see let's see though, man. Let's talk about some shit, dog. And this is Jerry Jones, quote unquote, taking responsibility. He said, "I'll admit that the Dallas Cowboys management has played a big role in the 30-year Super Bowl drought. I'm tremendously disappointed." Then listen, it's cool that you gave us lip service, Jerry. I appreciate that you said the quiet part out loud, that y'all niggas is the problem. I appreciate that. But the Bible says that faith without work is dead. The Bible says faith without work is dead. So while it's good to hear you say that, if you do not have the actions behind it to change your ways, to be more aggressive, to stop meddling, in the affairs, to stop meddling in the affairs of the head coach and let them make the personnel decisions and let them make the coaching decisions. Man, hold on. It's crazy. Now you're literally saying how Diggs wasn't wrong for that play, and 103.5 is blaming him right now. That's crazy. They really turned this man down because they don't know shit. 105.3, the fan has me blocked right now because I called them hoe ass niggas out. Listen, can't nobody built like a baby mama sit here and tell y'all about football. Them niggas is nerds. Them niggas did not participate in any combat sports. Them niggas ain't got punched in the mouth. They ain't punched nobody down. Them niggas ain't never wore no cup. Y'all gotta stop allowing niggas built like women that peaked in high school to get on here and comment about football. It's okay to say I don't know sometimes. But to sit here and push a narrative when it was obviously a cover 2 zone look and the touchdown was given up in the deep half of the field where Trayvon Diggs has absolutely no coverage responsibilities, it's bullshit, it's hoish, and it shows the kind of character them hoe ass niggas have, man. So listen, if anybody that knows football is blaming Trayvon Diggs for giving up a touchdown in cover 2 when he has flat responsibilities, I don't know what to tell y'all niggas. They're not being genuine. They pushing a narrative, or they're fucking stupid. Because if you know better, you do better. Can't nobody that know anything about football tell you that a cornerback is responsible for giving up a touchdown in cover 2. If you diagram that shit out, Trayvon Diggs' responsibilities is close by the goddamn line of scrimmage. So I don't know what to tell you. Either they are stupid or they are intentionally lying to you to push a narrative. And depending on the person it is, you can ask yourself if that person got everything. You can ask yourself if the lights are on upstairs for some people. You see there ain't shit behind them eyes but despair. I'm just saying, dog. I don't know. But either they're stupid, uneducated, or they're pushing a narrative. But yeah, no. It's cover 2. Niggas that play Madden should know that the damn corner doesn't have any responsibilities over there. So I don't know. It seems like something ridiculous for people to say. It feels like something ridiculous for somebody to say. And listen, dog. Back to what I was saying about Jerry. I'm happy that Jerry mentioned the shit. I'm glad that Jerry brought it up. Like, hey, we've been fucking up. We're responsible for there being 30 years of bad football, of the Dallas Cowboys underachieving. of the Dallas Cowboys not making a championship game, of the Dallas Cowboys not making the Super Bowl. I'm glad that Jerry Jones said the shit. I'm glad he said the shit. But your actions are going to have to reflect that you give a damn, Jerry. My brother said, do you think Matt Eberflus is incapable of doing anything differently? Or his ego so big that he needs the defense to go out and do what he wants? I'll be fair to Matt Eberflus. At times he has tried different things. I don't think this team is very good defensively. I also think that he is not good enough of a coordinator to cover up for their flaws. So this defense is going to need an overhaul. But Matt Eberflus is not good enough for me to trust him to be the person that oversees the overhaul. Like, his defensive scheme is outdated. The players don't really rock with him like that. And he's giving up 30 points in a game 8 times at this point. We got 2 games left to go. He could give up 30 points in double-digit games. You know, that shit cannot happen. It shouldn't have got to 8. The man has allowed 112 points. His defense has allowed 112 points in the last 3 games. 44, 34, 34. Hell, I know we won the game, so I don't really be bringing it up, but they gave up 28 motherfucking points to the damn Chiefs. They gave up 28 points to the Chiefs. So this is a defense that's given up 28 points or more the last month. And he gotta go. Cause listen, regardless of what people think about Matt Eberflus, this is a performance-based gig. If you like him, if you hate him, this is a performance-based job. If Dak Prescott came out this bitch and threw 17 touchdowns and 20 interceptions, niggas will be having a real conversation about getting his ass out of Dallas, right? Right? If the offense was one of the worst in the league, Shotty and Shotty and them, their jobs would be in question. If we were averaging 15 points a game, them niggas' job would be in question. And we'll be having real life conversations about getting their ass out of Dallas. So if your defense is god awful, you're one of the worst units in franchise history. You're one of the worst units in the NFL. You've given up over 100 points in the last 3 games. There should be no conversations had. He just should be gone. You don't even have to wait for the season to be over with, because at this point, you're already eliminated. Why let him stick around? Him and his wife need to be house shopping right now. Him and his wife need to be going somewhere, talking to a realtor about finding somewhere outside of Dallas. That is what needs to happen. Said Eberflus is performing like he lied on his resume and job application. Man, he lied about everything apparently. Also, you know who else lied? Stephen fucking Jones. Do you know why this nigga lied? Stephen Jones said the Dallas Cowboys could scheme up pressure. Stephen Jones said the Dallas Cowboys could scheme up pressure. And what actually happened is, in this game, the Dallas Cowboys blitzed like over 50% of the time, and they didn't even breathe on Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was comfortable as a motherfucker, and they were down to their 5th and 6th string offensive linemen. So your starting defensive line, with the exception of Quentin Williams, could not pressure a quarterback playing behind practice squad tackles. They were playing behind practice squad tackles, man. And you couldn't do shit while blitzing. My boy Jay Bryant said, "Sup, Henny? Shotty is old school and isn't going to let Eberflus go in season." Hey, if that Shotty call effort, I'm gonna let Shotty make it. But I need Eberflus, cause listen, I'm gonna take this down, cause I gotta look at y'all in the eyes when I tell y'all this, man. When I tell y'all this, and I know it may not be up to Shotty, but if you allow it to happen and you're the head coach, you also will take some of these bullets, man. So let me just go ahead and say this. Y'all know I love Shotty and I fuck with Shotty. I believe in Shotty. But I tell y'all this much, man. If Shotty does not make sure that Matt Eberflus is gone, this upcoming season, it's going to go from flush Flus to shoot Shotty. And I mean that shit. Because either you are allowing it to happen, or you really like this nigga. Either way, that shit goes against what's best for my team. What's up with your season? Cuz said, "This team will never prevail as long as Jerry is alive. As a lifelong fan, I refuse to watch this team." Brother, I don't blame you. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. Cause the shit is hard, man. Like, you look forward to the season. You get limited amount of games to watch and enjoy every year. The Dallas Cowboys, once their season is over in January, will not play another meaningful snap of football until September. So I understand why people are, upset, because football doesn't come around often. That's why people love football. It's single elimination. The game, every single game means something over the course of a 17-game season. There are guys still playing right now for their playoff lives. There's guys still playing for seeding. There's a lot of meaningful football being played, man. And it sucks because we will not be a part of it. And we have not been a part of it for the last 2 years. And then you get to wondering and asking yourself, man, how long do we keep this team together? How long do we keep this team together if we're not going to win? How long do you keep Dak Prescott around if we're not competitive? When do you start thinking about moving CD Lamb? When do you start thinking about, offloading some of your veteran players and going into a complete rebuild mode? When do you start thinking about that? Like, how many more times do they have to fail before the Joneses hit the reset button? Because we already told you, honestly, these next 3 years is it. Like, these are going to be the final 3 years of the Dak Prescott era. Unless something unforeseeable happens, these are going to be the last 3 years of the Dak Prescott era. And you'll have to go back out there and see if you can find a quarterback as good or better, to build around at that point. Because, hell, I honestly don't know if Dak, even if Dak is still playing at a good level at the end of his contract, I don't even know if the nigga would want to come back to this shit. He might want to try and take the Matthew Stafford road and go try and win somewhere else while he still had a little bit of juice in his body. You know what I mean? Like, how long before you hit the reset button if the Dallas Cowboys aren't competitive? Like, those are real questions that you're going to have to start asking yourself. And you only ask yourself these questions because you're not winning. If the Dallas Cowboys were a playoff team, you would be doing everything in your power to try and keep this nucleus together for an extended period of time. But because they are floundering, especially on the defensive side of the ball, because they are floundering, you're going to have to ask yourself, can these niggas really compete? And it's going to really come down to how they build this team next year. If the Dallas Cowboys miss the playoff next year, you know, it really might be time, dog, to go to a hard reset. It really might be time. I don't want that to be the case. I want us to fix the defense. I want us to keep George Pickens. I think the offense is amazing and can put up points with anybody any given Sunday. But you're going to have to figure out a way to fix this defense, man. Because if your defense plays like this next year, there's nothing you can do to compete. The season will be a wash before it even starts. So this is some shit you got to really roll your sleeves up if you're Jerry and Steven and attack in the offseason. Because they're not good enough. By any stretch of the imagination. And that starts, and I promise you, it does start with getting Matt Eberflus' ass the fuck out of here. You gotta get a defensive coordinator with a modernized scheme. You gotta get better players. You need another cornerback. You need another pass rusher. You need better linebacker play. Right? Like, you need better safety play. You're gonna have to go out here and roll your sleeves up and see what you can do about completely flipping this defense next year. And this is the full quote, because Jerry Jones on the looming decision on defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Future with the Cowboys. I might not couch it as difficult. The full quote says, I might not couch it as difficult. It's certainly something that we have to do, and that is look at the entire year and look what our options are and how to correct not being here at the same time next year. Said it's not uncommon to evaluate all coaches, but I need Jerry not to be a bullshitter. I need the Dallas Cowboys. I need Jerry Jones not to bullshitter. We already seen this graphic. 24 points, 37 points, 31 points, 40 points, 22, 30, 22, 44, 27, 16, 21, 28, 44, 34, 34. 8 games with at least 30 points allowed, dog. That ain't winning football. Never has been and never will be. They got to stop lying to their fucking selves, man. They have to stop lying to themselves. Listen. Just cut ties. Because if you keep Matt Eberflus around even these last 2 games, you could be, really filling out White Cotton and seeing what White Cotton could do. Seeing if White Cotton can call a better defense. Seeing if the players respond to White Cotton. Seeing if they believe it can buy in. Because the Dallas Cowboy way, which I don't believe in, they always love to look within first. They love to look within and elevate guys already on the roster and shit. That's how Shotty ended up in position. Right? He was at the right place at the right time. They were done with Mike. They slid him in. Already was running the offense, so they kept the continuity and all that other shit. So I feel it, I feel people saying they want him to finish out the year and all this other shit. Get him the fuck out of here, bro. Get him the fuck off my team. The shit don't make no goddamn sense at this point, man. It makes no sense at all. And listen, there was a lot of talk about him being moved to the booth, right? They're like, hey, it's for the betterment of the team. He can get a better viewpoint on the scheme. They can make adjustments and all that other shit, right? And what was the adjustment? They went out there and on their first 3 drives, they scored touchdowns. They scored touchdowns on their first 3 drives. The Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator, they moved him from the sideline to the booth in a move that they said would help the team. The Chargers had 3 possessions in the first half against Dallas. The Chargers scored touchdowns on all of them. Mind you, the reason the Dallas Cowboys did not have at least a double-digit lead, because the Dallas Cowboys scored on all 3 of their first drives. They scored a touchdown, a field goal, and a touchdown. The only drive the Dallas Cowboys did not score on in the first half was when they got the ball with only about 19 seconds left. Right, that's the only drive they did not score on in the first half. You wasted a hot start by your offense because you want to give up ass out the gate. Salute to Angie's for sliding in. Salute to everybody for sliding in, man. We about 48 deep in the liquor store right now. Please make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. Make sure you hit the share if you care. And make sure, listen, we ain't even slapping no Eagles fans right now. Slap the fuck out of Matt Eberflus' ass right the fuck now. You slap the dog shit out of Matt Eberflus. That's the nigga that needs to get paws laid on him, man. Y'all slap his hoe ass at this point. So him going to the booth is like a pre-firing. Listen, you don't even got to do no pre-firing. Just fire the nigga. Just fire the nigga, man. This song and dance and playing these hoe ass games, man, to get him out of here, bro. He adds absolutely nothing. He adds absolutely nothing to this team. He doesn't motivate these players. Let's go down the list, man. Let's go down the list. Matt Eberflus' defense is not aggressive. Matt Eberflus does not have a good relationship with the players. I ain't heard not one of these niggas speak up or take up for him the entirety of the time he's been here. His scheme does not give the defense a schematical advantage against opposing offenses. His defense is bad in the red zone. His defense is bad against the pass. His defense, for the most part, is bad against the run. In the totality, you look at it in totality, I know they've been better since the Quentin Williams trade, but what the fuck ever. His defense does not get turnovers. His defense does not force punts. They're not good on third down. There is absolutely no saving grace in keeping Matt Eberflus around. He don't do shit well. There ain't shit positive I can say about Matt Eberflus. I can't even say he's a good person. I can't even say this nigga is a good person because of the comments he made about Trayvon Diggs and the rumors that he was the one that initiated some malicious rumors against Caleb Williams while he was there. There are people in Caleb Williams' camp in Chicago that believe some of the bad press and some of the rumors that were spread were started by Matt Eberflus in his camp to try and save face for the horrible coaching job he was fucking doing. What's up with you, JR? So, the players don't like you. Your scheme sucks. Your defense sucks. You don't get stops. You don't get turnovers. There is absolutely nothing good I can say about Matt Eberflus. So why is this nigga here? Shotty is one of the most even-keeled, good-natured people. He's sick of that nigga. He cussed that nigga out. Yeah, there is no coincidence that the moment this man got cussed out on the sideline, his ass had to move to the booth. Shotty don't even want to look at that nigga no more, dog. Yeah, you taking shots at your own players. Because what you said did not need to be said. Trayvon Diggs did not call out your weak-ass scheme. He didn't call out your weak-ass, hoe-ass, inefficient scheme, nigga. He was just talking about quick pressure. He wasn't talking about man versus zone. He wasn't talking about none of that. He was talking about the defensive line getting quick pressure, helping the cornerbacks and the people in secondary, and they call that shit instant grits. Man, this is like the R. Kelly's trial. Like when the Dallas Cowboys fans have come forward and told y'all about, you know, the horrors of having Matt Eberflus on the team. Now everywhere he's been at, there's fans coming out saying me too. Brother, we had some Bear fans in here talking about how that man wasn't shit earlier in the show. Now we got a Colts fan in here, man. He said Matt Eberflus, Dallas, I'm sorry, y'all have to deal with him. Shit, I pray to God this is a one and done, bro. And he subbed to the channel. That's love right there, man. I appreciate you for the support, my brother. But yeah, dog, like, it's traumatizing having Matt Eberflus, you know, as your coordinator. It's traumatizing. So see, at least y'all had some halfway decent defenses on paper. We're not even good on paper, man. That's the shit that sucks. That's the shit that sucks, man. So yeah, we're doing a coaching search, man. I know he's still on the team. We're campaigning to get his ass gone. Matter of fact, we have a campaign that I want y'all to push across social media. It's #FlushFlus. Wherever y'all at. If you on Facebook, if you on TikTok, you know, if you on Twitter, aka X, you know, I need y'all to put all your slander about Matt Eberflus under that hashtag. Say he ain't shit. #FlushFlus. We getting this nigga out of here. We trying to get this nigga out the fuck of here. Bro said when he was RDC, he sucked this bad. So I guess the numbers were misleading. And that shit happens sometimes. That's why you can't just go off face value of the numbers sometimes. You need film. Because the face value of the numbers said they were alright, but it's like shit. There's never been a stop. There's never been a stop that this man has been at where he could go back and be welcomed with open arms. I guess except for Dallas, they welcomed this nigga with open arms. He used to be an assistant defensive assistant here, and they brought his ass back. He was here with Rob Marinelli. So I guess this might be the one stop where he's been at multiple times, and I hate that shit. Because Cuz said Eberflus is on the coach no rehire list, as he should be. As he should be, man. But yeah, this shit is horrible, man. I don't know what the hell we gonna do, but we gotta do something quick. I call him Matt Eberflus everywhere I say that man name. I don't blame him. Cause we're losing. We're losing with Flus. And remember, y'all, I already done went through some candidates of some qualified defensive coordinators. I'm gonna have to add some more. Lou and Boss are admittedly outworking me right now when it comes to like these defensive coordinator names. Like I got a longer list, but I only done broke down 3 niggas off of it. You know, Jim Leonhard is one guy we want. Brian Flores is another guy we want. Wink Martindale is another guy we want. But I gotta go through some more names, give us some more options. We know the Dallas Cowboys rarely ever get the exact person we want. So we're just gonna have to pray about that shit. Is there Eberflus doesn't need to coach anywhere? Look at Chicago last year. They couldn't win 3 games. Now look at them. They in the playoffs. Not only are they in the playoffs, they the 2 seed right now. Still got realistic chances of getting the 1 seed somehow. You know? So, yeah, the shit's sad though, bro. Shit is fucking sad. Dennis Allen would be a solid DC for y'all, seriously. Where is Dennis Allen at right now? Let's see. He is the defensive coordinator for the Bears. Okay. He's the defensive coordinator for the Bears right now. Yeah, I think Dennis Allen would be a good DC, but I think a guy like that, if he isn't gonna lead Chicago unless he gets a head coaching job again. I don't think that he'll go for a lateral move. Matter of fact, I don't even know if we can offer lateral moves like that. The rules in the NFL are so murky. I don't even think we can offer him a lateral move. Like we can take like a passing game coordinator or a secondary coach and make them a DC over here, but I don't think you can go from being a DC to being a DC unless you give them like a title. Now, if you make them like assistant head coach or some shit like that, I think you can make the move. But I'll have to check on the criteria because the shit a little murky for me. I never really remember. But I was just here to get that off my chest, man. I need us to push the Eberflus tags. I need us to throw some names into the hat for some guys we will want to see the Dallas Cowboys bring in as a DC. Because I still got to go to work today. I got to jump off of here, get ready, go get this money. But I just want to jump on here early this morning and talk to my people, man. But on the way out the door, make sure y'all hit that share if you care. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all slap the shit out of Matt Eberflus' ass. We're not even slapping Eagles no more. We got to clean around our own front door before we worry about the other niggas, man. Before we worry about the other folks. We got to handle our own business. So, let's go ahead. Let's rock. We're going to get at y'all. Hit that like, hit that share if you care. Hit the sub for the love. And in the words of my brother West Coast Cowboy, never look down because the style is up.